Welcome to Wine Road, the wine, when, and where of northern Sonoma County. I'm your host, Marcy Gordon, with Beth Costa, Executive Director of the Wine Road. Once again, our show is on the air through the generosity and support of Ron Rubin Winery. Ron Rubin specializes in Russian River Valley Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, wines that to me truly capture the essence of the region. Check out their website at ronrubinwinery.com. Welcome to episode 180. Today our guest is Gio Balistreri from Russian River Vineyards. Welcome, Gio.
Thanks for having me.
Glad
Excited.
you're here. We had you via phone of about a year and a half back.
Yeah, it's been a
And
while.
now he's here in person, folks, and it's great.
I'm a repeat guest. I love it.
Yes.
He's a repeat guest, and he brought wine.
Well, that makes him a three-peat guest.
So tell us about what we have here this morning.
What we have the Bacigalupi Chardonnay 2021 vintage. And the biggest thing that I love about this vineyard and wine is the family where the grapes come from.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the biggest thing. Is everyone that I work with, was about 19 different vineyards. I know each of the growers personally. So that's really the biggest thing behind the grapes and the wines that I make is the people.
And this is a classic.
It's a classic. I mean,
This is a classic in every way. The vineyard, the people, the profile of this wine, it is beautiful.
Yeah, we bought the fruit in 17. So this is the, fourth vintage so far from this vineyard. And what I love the most, I do a stainless steel chard, and then I also do an oak Chardonnay. So you're tasting the oak Chardonnay, but it's only about 30% new French oak. So it's just, the oak is just integrated,
right. Mm-hmm.
just enough.
It's just a lovely support.
not
Yeah.
too much and not too little. It's just, to me, it's just balanced and it's just right.
Super nice because it has that oak balance, but it's not over the top.
Nope. You
And you could almost call this lean.
Yep, it's lean, but if you try my stainless steel, that's extremely lean.
Sharp.
So this is thicker than that, but still, yes.
Yeah, no.
Still sleek.
I love it. It's good for breakfast.
I was just thinking, wow, what a perfect way to start the day. Yeah, that was super nice.
Yeah, really nice fruit.
Delicious.
I love it.
So I love, I was at Russian River Vineyards, I don't know, for some seminar or something we were doing out there. And you were talking about when you started laying out what you wanted the tasting experience to be. You said you want it to be like everybody's favorite backyard. And I thought, oh my gosh, like you just nailed that. That is how I feel. Every time I'm there, I tend to go and have to do something quick. Like I'm going to pick up some bottle of wine or I'm going to do this. And every time I'm there, I think, oh no, I need to sit. I need to just relax and enjoy this spot. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, that was 2008 when we bought the place and it was out of foreclosure and it was a complete mess. and that's putting it like lightly.
You needed a vision.
We needed a vision, and that vision was create your best backyard. Whatever that is, but it was just a relaxing, comfortable, feel at home type feeling, and that's what I set out, and I think we are just nailing it every time we do something to improve the property. It's that we keep that in mind.
It's cool because there's so many different little areas to go. You have the I guess, what is that? The beanbag thing? Isn't that?
The lower crush pad.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's just so many little areas where people can go and enjoy and sit back and relax. Yeah.
Yeah, we've just expanded. We call it the Grove now. So the Grove's pushed out. We bought the property next door. And then...
Oh, okay, because I drove by. I wondered. I could see that. Yeah.
Yep. And so we bought that. And then we just got rid of their front yard and cut it in half and then pushed our smaller Grove to a large Grove where we can hold about 80 to 100 people on all picnic-style seating. So
nice.
It's a fun, natural shade all under the redwood trees. So it's a fun. I got a lunch coming there up for about 50. So that'll be a fun experience to break it in.
It seems like you do a lot of that. You do a lot of meetings. You let people have their meetings there, receptions, different parties. Yeah, I mean, it's a great spot.
Bachelorette parties. I mean, I can't tell you how many of those we have every Saturday. There's six to eight, probably pretty much every Saturday.
Wow. Well, it's a perfect spot. Also,
Yeah.
there's, you have room for parking. There's a lot. It's a very well laid out place. Plus, you've got those views and you've got the vineyard and then you've got the redwoods. You've got the trail back there. So it's really special.
Yeah. And I love, the thing that I love is that we get people of all ages, all shapes, sizes, all demographics. That's what's so fun when you're out there. You just see everybody. And there's dogs, kids. It's just a family-friendly place.
So you bought the property in 2008?
2008.
And, what were you doing before that? How did that come to be?
Oh, you want that story?
Yeah.
So we should break out the wine that I brought next. So I brought our Balistreri family vineyards. So in 1999, I planted our first 4 acres of Pinot Noir. out of my parents' property, and that was the summer I graduated high school. That was with my dad and my brother and sister. And then 4 years later, I graduated college, and that's when I met my mentor, Anthony Austin, who taught me how to make wine. He bought my family's fruit.
Oh, wow.
So then from 04 to 06, we came up with this idea to build a winery out in Fri-Sun for Sonoma Vineyard, the winery that Anthony owned. And so we put the plan in place, put the deal together, and Anthony said, if you build it, we'll lease it. And so that's what we set out to do. So we started building the winery, getting the permits. That was 06 and 07, and we were going to break ground in 08. And everybody knows what happens in 08.
Yeah.
The world, the economy crashed, and everything went bye-bye.
Yeah.
So I was 27 at that time, and we ended up listing the property for sale with no intention to sell, but we wanted to look for investors. So we found an investor from the East Coast, and he came out and tried to revive the project. Didn't work. We split up mid-July, early July of 2008. He called me randomly August 15th of 08 and said, hey, we found this place called Russian River Vineyards. Do you want to be involved and be the assistant winemaker? Anthony can be the winemaker, and we're just going this together. Said, sure. Well,
Wow.
I wasn't doing anything
Yeah.
at the time, so we ended up making the deal with the Topolos. We bought it out of foreclosure, and then by November of 2009, we had the keys, and it was officially ours.
When
It is a
opportunity
beautiful,
knocks.
and it is. I mean, that property needed some help, but it was always a beautiful property.
Yeah, what we saw was it was a diamond in the rough, as
Definitely.
we say.
Yeah.
The bones, the structure, everything was there. It just needed to be polished and brought back to life.
So the Balistreri vineyard, was that in Fri-Sun?
That was in Fri-Sun.
So the fruit of Pinot from Fri-Sun, that's amazing fruit. That's amazing.
It's intense.
It's like no other place. It really has a purpose, a place in that wine.
What we noticed from 04, the first vintage, and as we got every other vintage after that, the skins got thicker because how cool it was out there. So the
it's
grapes
like a
adapted.
Yeah. I went to an auction once, and there was a lot. I remember tasting a lot. I'm like, this is going to go for all the money because it's so good. And it was from Fri-Sun, and it was amazing.
It's hard to grow out there. It's very cool. The yields, typical yields are 3 to 5 tons in Russian River Valley. Sonoma Coast out there might be 1.5 to 2.5 tons.
Wow.
It's a lot less.
Dramatically different, yeah.
Yeah. But that's a special area. That's cool.
Very, very concentrated fruit. It's a unique. We call it the extreme Sonoma Coast out there.
Definitely.
It's very cool. That was a pun, or
Did I say cool?
yeah, you said it's very cool.
Super cool.
Super
Yeah,
cool.
super cool.
Super duper.
Yeah, nice. So at Russian River Vineyards, what do you produce right now? What are your wines?
Oh man, I do a lot. I do kind of something for everybody. We do 3 different rosés, Sauvignon Blanc, Gewürz, a white blend.
Well, Gewürz is hard to find.
Gewürz hard to find.
Yeah.
Yep. I was doing Riesling, and then that vineyard went away, and I liked that style.
Where's
and
the
fruit.
Gewürz from?
Kunde.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Yep, out in Kenwood.
Nice.
Yep, I get it from them, and it's just a dry, very
Yeah.
dry Gewürz. I have a following that I make 120, 150 cases every year, and it sells out. We bottle it in, say, February, and it's sold out by the next February.
Gewürz has become very trendy.
It's fun.
I mean, everybody wants something different, I think. Yeah,
Yep,
it's
and
hard to
that's
find.
the Barbera. I make a Barbera, and
Yeah.
that's what we can't keep that on the shelf, and it's something that's just you can't find anywhere.
Right.
Viognier, we make one of those. About 10 different Pinot Noirs. There's a Petite Syrah, a
gosh.
Cab, red blend.
That
Do
is
a-
a lot of wine.
We do a lot of wines.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's great for the wine club because every wine club shipment there's
Right.
like 4 new releases every
Yeah.
single time, so you're not getting the same old stuff
nice.
Right.
Yeah.
all the time. It's a good mix of whites and reds or reds only. Never blended any wines together until I had this idea of how would the 10 different vineyards that I make of Pinot, single vineyard stuff, work together.
Right.
So I made a cuvee and put 6 of the vineyards together, and it was a rock star
Yeah.
wine. It basically was your signature Russian River Valley Pinot
Yeah.
Noir.
Yeah. So talking about tasting all those parts, in just a couple of days on July 29th, we're actually doing a tasting at your winery. We have 4 winemakers lined up. People can go online to wineroad.com and click on the seminar series and find tickets for that. So we're going to have, you'll be there pouring your wines, a couple of your wines, and Mike Sullivan from Benovia, and Rod Berglund from Joseph Swan, and John Vizley from Vizley Vineyards. So you'll be able to taste 8 different Pinots, and really the point is talking about the neighborhoods and, how the different neighborhoods that are in the Russian River Valley and how they all are going to bring a little different profile to the wines. So people should check that out. I'm excited about that.
And if you haven't heard of the 3 other winemakers, they're awesome. Visley, Rod, and Mike are all characters. They're experts at their craft, and they know wine, and they're passionate about what they do, and they're just fun people.
I am so excited about it. I mean, I really am. We did a seminar back in June with some wineries out in Dry Creek Valley doing Rhone varietals. And it was the same thing. I had 4 winemakers, and it was just the respect they had for each other and the passion they had for winemaking. Every person that left that seminar made a point of finding me and saying how much they, appreciate it. It's fun. People are going to look forward to meeting you if they haven't met you and be able to ask questions. And yeah,
it's super unique. It's unique and intimate, and you get to ask those questions one-on-one.
Right.
What a lot of people don't get to do. So it's
and
great.
Taste those differences, because Russian River Valley is really a collection of neighborhoods, and the soils are different. You can really begin to understand when you do a tasting like that.
And I know Rod will tell this in the seminar, but we have more soil types in the Russian River Valley than all of France, which is a pretty unique.
Mon Dieu.
Yeah, Rod, he'll get into that for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He knows it all.
It'll be fun. It's such a great group. I can't wait. So that's happening Saturday. So do you have any sort of special tastings that you're offering right now? Do you do food pairings? What can people expect if they, pop by or if they make a reservation?
We cater to pretty much really whatever you want. We do bottle services for larger parties. We do tastings for, I think it's up to 12 people. We can just do a regular tasting, but you get over that, it's a lot of work on our staff. So we do a bottle tasting where order all the food you want, pick the bottles of wine you want, and we put you in a secluded area. So it's kind of like your own little party there. We do food and wine pairings, Mother's Day, New Year's Eve, and Valentine's Day. We do food and wine pairings, a special menu for about 100 people. And then we do regular tasting as well. Mm-hmm. Wine club parties, we do those 4 times a year. So that's a lot of fun. And then we just released, I brought it up earlier about buying the property next door. Well, it came with a guest house.
Oh, nice.
So now we have a stay on the property.
Oh, that's great.
Where it's a benefit to our wine club members.
That is super great. Cool.
And what a great location.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's
you're
right
right
there.
in the middle. You're near everything. You're near the redwoods. You're near the river. You're near Sebastopol. Forestville's got a cute little, a town that you blink and you're through it.
And the trail.
Yeah, and the
trail goes all the way to Santa
trail is
Rosa.
the best. Yeah. And you can access the vineyard from the trail.
Yeah, we've got a gate. I wish it said free wine tasting this way, but it just says wine tasting this way.
Yeah.
Or walk here for wine. It's one of those two.
Walk here for wine. I like it. Now there's a trail that I can maybe connect with.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's great because the trail is right behind the property. You push the gate open, come up and taste. We have probably 60 wine club members in the hills behind us that all walk up for our happy hour.
Yeah. How great is that?
Yep, which we do happy hour on Thursday nights from 5 to 7:30.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That goes like through Labor Day or?
Through November, the first week in November.
Oh, wow, that's a long time. Nice. Okay, so the first Thursday, is that what you said? Or every Thursday?
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday night's happy hour.
So that's where you go for the sunset.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Because that's a beautiful view there.
Yes, I've been there for sunset, and it is.
Pinks and purples and oranges. Sunsets are beautiful.
Yeah, definitely a beautiful spot for that, for sure. So, you were just, like you said, right out of high school, you were interested in planting that vineyard and getting started in that. Did you just grow up in a farming ag family? That's so young.
It's funny you asked that. I was thinking back. I have pictures when I was probably 3 to 4 years old in my grandma's vegetable garden helping her plant.
Oh,
nice.
So we've been farming of some sort. We had a big dairy out in Bloomfield when growing up. That's where my grandparents lived.
Yeah.
And so we had the dairy out there. And so we grew up hunting and fishing and farming and living off the land.
Yeah.
And that's what's just kind of been instilled in me, until this day.
Farm to table before it was, farm to table.
Farm to table. Yeah.
right. So
before it was a thing.
Called it.
It was just, that's how we
called
eat.
it dinner.
That's how we get food.
It was true. It's like I tell so many people the story. Like we had the milk from the tank.
Oh, yeah.
On the dairy.
Right.
If we shot venison or deer, we had venison for dinner, and then all the vegetables came from the garden. So there was nothing that we purchased from the supermarket.
Some kids grow up that way, and then they wanted, the exact opposite. I got off the farm and I moved to the city, so
yeah, I couldn't.
You loved it.
I did that for right after I graduated college in 2004. There was a brief period, about 6 months, where I went to San Jose with some friends, and it was 6 months and out of there.
Yeah, that's quite a change, San Jose.
Back to Sonoma County. It didn't work.
No compare.
Yeah. Don't compare. So when you have friends come to town, what do you think that they have to do and see? Or, somebody who's never been here before?
Yeah, that's a good question. I like to immerse them in everything Sonoma County. So we usually go to Redwood Trees. I usually go to the Russian River somewhere in that Guerneville. We always hit the Barlow.
Yep.
We like downtown Windsor because where we live, when they come stay with us, we can walk to downtown.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got the town green, you've got wineries and restaurants all around the square. So we usually do that for a day. We obviously do the wine tasting, but we don't leave Sonoma County. We stay here and show, let them see everything.
Windsor's got a lot going on.
Windsor's fun.
Yeah, Windsor's got a lot going on. In the evenings, it's nice to walk around the square. And then there's so many wine tastings now, right? Where Colagrassi is, that whole area, plus what's on the square. There's a lot.
New beverage district.
Yeah, the beverage district. I saw a sign the other day when I drove down there.
Is that Bell Road?
Yeah,
Yep.
Bell
Yeah.
Road. Yeah.
Yeah, Russian River Brewery's there, Barley and Vine.
Yeah.
Beer cafes there, Colagrassi, K Squared. Man, there's like 5.
Two Shepherds.
Yep.
Yeah, William. A lot of action. Okay, so what's new? Do you have anything planned for customers come, we're heading into the end of July, so things happening in August. Do you have any sort of harvest events or wine club parties that time of year? Or
We've got, July 29th? End of July, we've got a wine club party with Gerard's Paella.
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
So we partner with him every year. We do a big 150-person paella dinner.
See, I love that, except I always can never say paella.
Paella.
I have to really think about it,
That's-
and I have to say it very slowly in my mind.
That's one of my favorite outtakes is when you called it Paella.
I'm like,
Paella.
Paella. I'm going to write her a check.
I'm like, okay,
I love
whatever.
that Paella.
Like, you know what I mean. I'm good at okay, I'm close.
It's good when you do that because I do that all the time. I am the queen of mispronunciations, but
oh, well.
yeah. But Gerard's Paella, that's like a Sonoma County institution right there.
No kidding.
Oh, and he's a showman. I mean,
Yes.
I put him on the microphone and he talks and tells
Yeah.
a story about him and his paella, and then I talk about how I met him, and we just play off each other.
And how did you meet him?
It was all through events.
Yeah.
All through events. And I was like, just started like, hey man, I just was eating his food. I was like, this is good. Who are you? I'm Gerard. I was like, oh yeah.
Who are you?
There you go. And a friendship kicked off there. And if I need anything, I reach out to him.
It's just cool to watch it happen.
I
You
know.
come the huge pan and they lay out the rice and they start laying in the seafood, all the different vegetables. And it's like, wow. I mean, it takes a while, but it is worth it. It's such a perfect event because while it's happening, while it's cooking, while it's all those scents
You
and
smell it
smells and you're
all.
having the wine, it's just the perfect thing to do for a wine
And
event,
the
I think.
guests get up, walk around, take pictures of it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's just
Yeah, it's
fun.
very photo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is just beautiful. That's like the biggest paella pan I've ever seen.
Paella pan. There's some. I definitely don't want to.
pan.
I definitely don't want to say that.
No alliteration this early. Have another sip of Chardonnay,
I know.
Beth.
That's what I'm thinking.
What else? I'm excited for harvest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Harvest. I mean,
So what's it looking like? We've had a trip a year.
well, as Pam Bacigalupi put it in an email, she goes, "Well, Gio, hope we don't pick grapes in October
Yeah.
with this cool weather. It's just,
Yeah.
it's early, but it looks like a big happy crop. And then we'll see how long
Driving
when we
around,
harvest.
Yeah,
it seems
summer's
like
so
there's growth
cool.
on the growth.
It's huge.
I've never
yeah.
seen it so like there's the set of leaves and then there's a whole nother set. And it's been a cool summer.
Yeah.
It's I had to put the heat on all through June
Yeah.
in the house because it's so cold.
Well, and you're a delicate flower. There's that.
There's that too.
I'm a Victorian orchid.
Yes, very much so.
Oh, well. Also, our house is really well insulated. My husband's a contractor, and he insulated that within an inch of its life. So when it gets hot and you walk in, you feel like the air conditioning is on. But so it holds the cold air really well. Yeah. So, yeah, I am a delicate flower. We know. Wow, wow, wow. Cue the trombone.
Okay, let's see. What else do we need to talk about? What else is happening? I don't know. I'm in a blur. Anything new happening in Sebastopol?
There is so much happening in Sebastopol. It's like I can't even keep track. We have not one, not two, but 3 natural wine bars in Sebastopol now. We have the Redwood, which is a beautiful place that does natural wine as well as food pairings. We have the Punch Down, which is in Oakland, but they just opened a location in Sebastopol with the biggest selection. I feel like I'm going shoe shopping. You go in there and you're just overwhelmed. It's like, oh, everything looks amazing. It's a lot of orange wine, a lot of natural wine. You know my love for orange wine.
Oh my gosh, your orange
and
wine
they do
love,
little food pairings, and it's in the Barlow where there used to be like a Buddhist painting in this room. So there was something about that space, has this really great energy. And you walk in there, and I was talking to the owner about it, and it's like, yeah, it feels really good in here. I said, well, it used to be, it's like a very, very high, serene place. And so that's happening. We have also Pilar, which is Georgian wine and Georgian type food.
Oh, wow.
So it's all happening in Sebastopol.
We'll have to check that out. Is that a
Also,
lunchtime place?
the Goldfinch opened.
Oh, yeah.
My
I read
problem
about
is
that.
I always tell you about what's coming, and then it's a year later.
Yeah. Right.
But that did finally open. That's right across the street from our friends at the Third Pig, the Bowmans. And that just opened. There's a new restaurant coming in. I live in Sebastopol, and I can't even keep track of all the stuff that's happening. Cozy Plum just opened, which is vegan food, next to Whole Foods there. It is popping, and I hope people come and support it. The Barlow is just really, really on point
Yeah, it
these
seems
days.
like a lot of new things have happened there.
Busy. It's very busy.
And they've really harnessed getting, they do these maker events, like I think it's the second or third weekend. And it just brings all these people in, but it also brings people into the Main Street. There's a lot of new shops on Main Street. There's a place called Luminaria that's just like, has a cotton candy machine in there. It's
Sold.
It's just so much going on.
Been about 5 since I had a cotton
But
candy.
yeah, I mean, Sebastopol really has become its own little destination, I think.
And what's happening new in Windsor? Can you think of anything new in Windsor?
New in Windsor.
I mean, I just know sort of the wineries. I know Bellacana is a new tasting room that just reopened right on the square. They're right across from Baldassari.
Yep, we're club members of Baldassari.
Yeah.
Great wines there. Flagship brewery.
Oh, I haven't been there.
It's more of a tap room. It's right
Yeah.
downtown. Cuvée is I think it's German style beers over in the beverage district. They're newer.
I haven't seen that either. I need to get out more.
I'm so happy. I have a
Such a big
cousin
wave.
visiting, and I'm excited because that means we get to go out and see everything because, you're like the jaded local. You don't always do everything. And so I'm like making a list, checking it twice. I can't wait to show her around and enjoy it myself.
Well, what's cute is as soon as we got here, you said, oh, I have a cousin coming. I for sure want to go to Russian River Vineyards.
Well, I do.
I thought, well, that was good.
Well, because I'm looking for places that are very unique, that
Right.
show a sense of place. And that definitely, and also it's close by. I live in Sebastopol, so that's like, we could do a little boop, 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 hit up Nightingale Bakery, come around. There's just, we do live in an amazing, amazing place. And we do take advantage of it, but not like you do when you want to show it off.
Yeah, when you have company, that's when you
That's what's
pick
so
it up.
great for us.
Yeah.
Was just what you said, for like the tour companies and the people who are planning a day. They'll do 2 tastings in the morning, then come to us for lunch because we have the restaurant
Oh, yeah.
and the kitchen there, and then they do a tasting room after that. So it's like we're usually the middle destination spot
Right.
because of the food that we provide.
Yes, and it's just a perfect, place to kind of regroup. And you need food. I always tell people, when you're out tasting, you need to stop and have some
Oh,
food.
yeah, definitely.
It's really important.
So what is the restaurant menu like? What do you have?
It's fun. So we ran the full service menu when we did lunch and dinner, and then we tweaked that a little bit because it was just too much.
Right.
And we pared it down to more of a lunch menu. So we've got 3 different charcuterie boards. We've got 5 different house-made focaccia pizzas, 2 sandwiches, 3 different salads, pulled pork sliders.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's
That's
still
a
a
lot.
very full menu.
A real variety of things.
And what is that? What are the hours for the menu?
So Monday through Wednesday, 12 to 5, and then Thursday we have the happy hour. So the regular menu goes from 12 to 5, and then happy hour kicks in from 5 to 7:30, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 12 to 6.
So here's a tip, folks. Monday through Wednesday, said Gio. Where
Yeah.
can you find something open on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday? Go to Russian River Vineyards because that
really.
is that's very hard lately to find places that are open
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're busy because of just what you said.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh,
There's nowhere to go.
nothing
Yes,
open
there's
on Monday
nowhere
and
to
Tuesday.
go. It's just the new reality that places are not open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So, pro tip:
Come out.
come have lunch with
Pro tip.
Gio.
That's our pro tip of the day.
Yeah,
Nice.
because also when I was at the Punch Down, they're open 7 days a week. I'm like, you're going to have business,
Yeah.
because this is unusual that people are open all week.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah, once that word gets out. One thing I've learned too is you got to keep it consistent. When you
That's the
continue
problem. Yeah.
to change your hours, your customer base doesn't know what you're doing and when
Right.
you're doing it.
No, and then it's frustrating.
Yes,
It's
They
you're
show
just
up, you're not
setting
there.
people
Yeah.
up for disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're dedicated from 2017. Just keep it consistent.
That's great.
12, the 7 days a week, 12 to 5. That's the jam. Come out and see us.
Yeah, even for locals, like sometimes it's like
yeah.
Tuesday, and like Roger goes, "Let's go to lunch." Like where?
Where?
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's nothing open. It's time for our Fast Five. Who do we have on the line now?
All right, so this is Dustin Valette from Valette and the Matheson up in Healdsburg.
Oh, thanks for
Awesome.
calling. It's great.
So, what's your Fast Five recipe?
Okay, so I love this part, but so we always get 5. You always ask the chef 5 of your favorite items. I don't know. How about we do this? We will build a dish together. Here's how the recipe starts.
I like it.
Pressure.
Welcome to the head of a chef. All right, so what is one of your favorite seasonal items right now?
Fava beans.
Oh, Baba's good. Okay. Beth, what about you?
I don't know. I wanted to do fava beans also.
She stole it
What
from
else?
you.
Is there some sort of fruit that would go with that?
Just say a cheese.
How about a fabulous cheese of some sort?
That's an amazing idea. Who would have thought of that? I love it. Okay, so we got fava beans and cheese.
Okay.
So one of my favorite things right now, and I absolutely love this, is pesto. Everybody in the world loves pesto, right? But usually make with basil. So now this can be a different pesto. We're going to use a fava tip pea stew. Sounds like pesto, kind of, but different. We're not using basil. We're going to take the tops of those little fava shoots. So the fava plant's big, massive, beautiful plant. The tips, the tops, are the young little shoots. We take those, we put those in a blender and make exactly like a pesto out of it. Puree everything the same thing. I use a walnut instead of a pine nut. I use Parmesan cheese and actually use a little bit of pecorino, but that's just me. That's just the chef. So we have a fava tip pea stew. That's item 1. Item 2 will be a fava bean, so just a nice shucked fava beans, blanched off real quick.
Yes.
Next, we'll use a cheese, right? I love Bohemian Creamery. Local people
nice.
love their stuff. Oh my God, it's so good. All their
right here in
cheeses are delicious.
Sebastopol.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right down the street. All right, so now we have a fava bean, fava tip pea stew. We have a local Bohemian Creamery. Now, I like fresh pasta. So a bunch of great places to make fresh pasta. Oliver's in Windsor has a great little pasta program. Obviously, Whole Foods has a great one. So fresh pasta. Last one, Journeyman Meats. They have amazing charcuterie. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the pasta. First off, make the pea stew. We're going to take those fava tips. We're going to throw them in the blender. We're going to blend that. A little bit of toasted walnuts, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, pecorino cheese, a little bit of raw garlic, olive oil, and make a pea stew. Okay, take that, put that aside. Now, take our fava beans. We're going to shuck them, blanch them in water, take them out. They're all beautiful and gorgeous, set, ready to go. Take our fresh pasta, boil off our pasta for about 2 minutes, about 45 seconds to 2 minutes, depending on what kind it is. I love the Lumiconi, personally. Strozzapreti is fantastic, but Lumiconi is amazing. Now we're going to toss that fresh pasta in a little bit of butter and Parmesan cheese. We're going to take a bowl, put that fava tip pea stew down. We're going to toss in those fava beans that have been shucked and then blanched off with that fresh pasta that's been boiled for about 2 minutes with butter and Parmesan cheese. We're going to then put that pasta on top. Now we're going to take some of Pete Sagacio's Journeyman Meats, which are fantastic. We're going to use the soppressata. Love the soppressata.
Yes.
Use wine inside there.
Good Lord.
Yep, we'll slice it nice and thin, and we'll cut that in little half crescents. Sprinkle that on top. Now to finish it off, some of that really good Bohemian Creamery cheese. Take it, dice it up, put that on top. The Bodacious is fantastic. That cheese is going to melt into that pasta. You have this really nice fava tip pea stew in the very bottom. That nice salty umami base of that German meats. That's it. Sonoma County on a plate. 5 ingredients. Go. Next. Iron Chef. Bring it on.
That was
I'm
beyond
just like, my mouth is
awesome.
open. I'm like,
I feel like I'm dead.
Things you don't want to hear on the radio.
Blown away by. I just want to eat that so much right now.
And if you stop by the restaurant, we can do it now. Let's go. Let's
my
go.
gosh.
Let's go.
Because I can just see, I love walnut and switching that out
So
instead
good.
of pine nut and then the fava tip. And because I think it would probably be more a deeper flavor.
Exactly. It has more herbaceousness to it
Yes.
and more robust flavors.
Ah,
And it's all
arr.
that we have right here in Sonoma County. This is literally what we have have, and this is the best part, we are hunters and gatherers by nature. So we're, instead of hunting and gathering out in the woods, because that sounds like hard work, we're just having...
We're hunting and gathering Whole Foods.
Exactly. We're having amazing producers make for us, showcasing their craft, and we get to eat it and enjoy it.
Awesome. That's. I think you should have named that ingredient. It'd be like your new show. You know, it's the best game show. Anyways, thank you so much. We'll put that in the show notes. And thanks for calling in, Dustin.
Absolutely, my pleasure. All right,
Bye-bye.
I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, anything else we need to know?
I'm going to be on the road.
Where are you going to be?
We do the California wine festivals.
Oh, yeah.
So those are a lot of fun. We were in Dana Point last month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Carlsbad is coming up. Santa Barbara is the 23rd and 4th of July. And then we go to Huntington Beach in the 10th and 11th of November.
Nice.
Fun, very fun festivals. If you're in those areas listening,
I hear really great things about those.
come out. They're great.
People go there. They actually buy quite a bit of wine. You just place orders or whatever. But yeah.
Bringing Sonoma to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're fun. I mean, Santa Barbara, hard to beat. Carlsbad, I haven't been yet, but I hear really nice. And then Huntington Beach, it's at the Paseo Hotel. Great venue and just
nice.
right there on the water.
That's when you see our friend Kevin Robinson will be there. I think Kevin goes to the one in Huntington Beach. I love Kevin. Just a customer friend.
Kevin's great. He pitched in on our podcast.
He's my he does sort of motivational speaking for he's a realtor, but he works with hundreds of people. But I swear to God, he's just so natural at that. He actually calls me a few times a year just to see how I'm doing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you.
You need that.
Someone who cares. How am I doing? Let me tell you.
I need a motivational speaker in my life.
He's awesome. Oh, well, it's fun. It's fun to stay connected with people. In fact, I was at, I mentioned the Rhone seminar that we did about a month or so ago out at Trattori Farms. It was super fun. And there were some podcast listeners there from Washington, D.C. So they made a point of, connecting with me afterwards.
From D.C., really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun because I actually remember meeting them once before. I think, probably about 4 years ago, I think I met them at one of our breakfasts with the winemakers.
Nice.
I recognized them, and I thought, oh my God, that's so cool. Listeners.
I told you I was at Retrograde Coffee and someone came up to me and asked me, "Are you Marcy?" I'm like, "Yes, I recognize your voice from the podcast." And I was like, wow.
You brought up DC. I'll pitch this other brand. We just launched about a year and a half ago, Chester, which is our dog brand. And so that's the brand that I want to scale and get into distribution throughout the United States. Right. And currently we're in Chicago, New Jersey, New York, the DC area, and hopefully Texas, Florida, and Georgia coming next.
Nice markets.
Utah as well. But the biggest part of this brand for the California, Utah, and Texas is that we partner with foundations that support animals and dog shelters and things like that. So in Sonoma County, we're with Dogwood Animal Shelter.
Oh, yeah.
And so we partner with them. We've been with them for about a year and a half. And then in Utah, there's a company called Nuzzles. And Nuzzles is the same sort of shelter, and we're partnering with them, and we support, for every wine club member that Nuzzles signs up, we donate $50 back to their organization.
That is great.
And then Dogwood, it's very similar.
That is super. I think I remember the last podcast you talking about you were going to be launching Chester.
The timing sounds about right.
Yeah. So what are the varietals in the Chester line?
So the Chester's fun. It's like kind of my opportunistic brand. I find really good grapes. They're not necessarily from Russian River Valley. They could be from everywhere. So for the current vintages, we have Monterey Chardonnay, Central Coast Pinot.
Wow.
And then I found a not Dry Creek. It's Lake County Sauv Blanc.
Nice.
So I find the right varietals from the right
perfect
areas.
Places for all those,
for those three. So they turn out awesome.
And that's just very much like a dog. They can be from everywhere, all sorts of breeds all together, but we love them. So
at some point, do you plan on all those other states partnering with different places?
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the kind of ideas if you want to. It's almost like franchising.
Yeah.
Find the program, make the plan work, and then bring it to another market and kind of replicate.
I love that.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so.
I think we should probably finish off this bottle of Chardonnay.
The way you're looking at me.
Delicious.
Yes. I'll tell you something else. This is a beautiful, beautiful Chardonnay.
It really is.
It's so classic.
Thank you. It's a breakfast wine and a dinner wine all at the same time.
It is really delicious. I tend to drink Sauvignon Blanc for white wines, or I go to Viognier, and Chardonnay is not my first go-to. I think because I drank so much at some point when I was working at a winery. That's really what we were known for. So, but this really is, it really hits the mark. It's perfect. There is smoke, but it's not super oaky and heavy. It's really nice.
It's a testament to the winemaking style because this lets Chardonnay be Chardonnay.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you get so many Chardonnays and then that's when people become the ABCers.
Exactly.
Because they really don't know what Chardonnay is and can be.
And you touched on exactly what I do. And every wine I make, I want the fruit to speak.
Right.
The fruit first, vineyard second, and then the winemaking kind of in the background.
Right.
I don't want this guy made the wine with he added Syrah, or it's too big for a Pinot. No, this is the Bacigalupi vineyard, an expression of that fruit from my block that I get.
Yeah. This is a great example of that. Lovely. Thank you for bringing this, Gio.
So Russian River Vineyards. Welcome. And then I do want to mention before, because I always have something.
And one last thing.
And then
I mentioned the Pinot tasting, which is going to be at your winery on Saturday, the 29th. But I also have a comparative Cabernet tasting, which is going to be August 5th at Robert Young Estate Winery out in Alexander Valley. And for that, we'll have Jordan Winery, Robert Young, and Alexander Valley Vineyards. So that will be an amazing tasting also. I think that's all I've got going for now.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I know. That's what I think.
So, Gio, the best way for people to reach the vineyard is through the website or what?
Website, RussianRiverVineyards.com. Also make reservations through the Talk reservation app and just search Russian River Vineyards and we pop up. We offer just book a table for lunch, and that means you can have lunch, you can have tasting, you can do whatever you want.
Nice.
With that.
And do you also allow walk-in tasters? Like if I just happen to be driving by and think, oh.
Absolutely. That's one of the best parts. We have so much space.
Okay.
If you walk in and we are sold out with 320 people on property at that time, you might not be able to do a tasting, but you can get a glass, you can get a bottle, you can order food, you won't get turned away.
So we were just about to wrap up, and then we realized, Gio did have another bottle out there. So, I mean, waste not, want not, right?
Yeah, as we pour this.
Yeah, let's see what this is.
I made I have several collections. So we've got our Winemaker's collection, which is kind of our white wines, blends, easy to find wines. And then we've got our terroir collection, which is all of our single vineyard wines. So it's wines from one vineyard, one wine. And then from there, we've got the estate collection, which is our 4 estate vineyards, Austin, Emma's, Balistreri, and then Al's Watch. And then from there, I was like, all right, what do I do to make things better? And I created this program called the Double Barrel Program.
Okay.
So what we did was we found the 2 best lots of Pinot Noir, and then we went through all the, say, 10 new French oak barrels in those lots, found the best 2 barrels from those 2 lots, and then blended them together to make a double barrel Pinot Noir.
Yowza.
So that was the top. And then I didn't know what to do about the label for that, so it sat with no label on it for about 2 years.
Decisions. Okay.
And then I was at festival, this is probably back in 2015, at the Apple Blossom Festival in Sebastopol.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
That was good.
One of my buddies is Dom Chi Designs. He does all the spray paint and just different artwork. You'll see it all around Sebastopol. He just did the Hook and Ladder tasting room.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just really cool artwork. Mm-hmm. So I was like, that's it. I called up Dom and said, hey, come out, and I want you to paint, airbrush a label on our bottle. And he's like, what do you want me to do? I said, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do.
You're the artist.
You do what you want.
Yeah.
And so he looked around the property, and he came back with a design, and it was this old truck that we have in the vineyard.
Oh, yeah.
It was the redwood trees around the property, and then the hop kiln that we have on the property.
Yes.
Which is iconic. Yeah.
And he spray painted, it's airbrushed, and he airbrushes every bottle, signs every bottle.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just outstanding. And so that was our top of the line brand.
Well, yeah, that's art.
Then I was like, well, what do I do next? And I was thinking about Anthony Austin, who taught me how to make wine. And I wanted to, he taught me everything. I want to just dedicate this brand or this new collection to him. And it's called the Austin Collection. And what that ended up being was the last wine that we tried, the Bacigalupi Chard. Mm-hmm. So I went through that lot and I found the one barrel that was the best. And I took it out and I made 25 cases of the Austin Collection Chardonnay. And it is, I can't tell you how much distinctly different it is than the wine we just tried.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But it just
I can't imagine because that wine was amazing.
it's wild. So then we did the same thing for Pinot Noir. So we have the Austin collection, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, and the label's this big metal label of the hop kiln and the redwood trees around it. So it's neat. So that's the new.
Can people see all those? Are they all on your website now, so people can see the artwork, see the labels, and see?
They're all online in the Austin collection. We just soft launched that 2 weeks ago, and then we're launching it pretty much by the end of the month.
And those are such small quantities. That's always going to be just sold in the tasting room.
And the Austin collection allocation only.
Okay, yeah.
So you get on the list, and then you have access to maximum of 3 bottles.
Right.
And then when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. People love that.
So this is the freestone fruit.
This is the freestone fruit. Yep. So this is the Balistreri family vineyard.
The cool. So cool.
Cool. Very cool.
This is
super cool.
Delicious.
And
I know.
What I love about this is we planted the first 4 acres in 2004. We planted 1 more in 2005 and then 4 more in 2006. And it's all Dijon clones. And it's a blend of about 5 different Dijon clones in here. And typically all my Pinot Noirs will bottle around May 15th for the estate line, which is what we're trying. It's always August, first week of August. They just take longer,
right,
and age longer in the barrel.
This is just stunning. It has, it's like much like I was saying, the Chardonnay was classic. This is like the textbook Pinot.
Bright acid from the Sonoma Coast, Fri-Sun region, dark
perfect
fruit.
Balance.
Balance is my favorite compliment.
The balance of this is. I just feel like the scales of justice here.
Well, let's hope that's not you, because we'd all be in trouble.
No, I mean, I digress, but this is a beautiful wine.
That was delicious.
These wine, the estate wines, I can just leave it on the counter and not even drink it and just walk by every 15, 20 minutes and smell it.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll just watch how it changes.
Keeps evolving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Every 10 minutes it changes. The aromas change.
Folks, this is why you want to come to Sonoma County and come to Russian River Vineyards. You have to taste this. This is gorgeous. Gio, thank you so much for opening this.
Yeah, that was a score. Yeah, he's like, I do have another bottle. Like, well, bring it on.
Yeah, let's go.
What are we waiting for?
And I get excited because I don't try these all the time. Mm-hmm. So I get excited to try them too and just showcase them and see where they're at because, wine's alive. And wine evolves every day.
Right.
We will put this wine in the show notes. We'll put how to reach and get to Russian River Vineyards in the show notes. Is there anything else, Beth?
No, I'm just had so much wine.
Beth is in her happy place.
No, I'm just going to relax
it's
here.
It's only 10 a.m.
But as I say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was what a way to start the day. Yeah, this was good. Thank you.
We'll see you on the wine road.
All right. Can't wait to be on the wine road.
Thank you.